What would be a really good game idea? I know. How about Mario with a shotgun? I started programming Mario with a shotgun, and I really don't know how I came up with this idea. I just thought it's funny to combine Mario and a shotgun and just merge these together. So, I think in order to understand what we gotta do here, we gotta look at what Mario actually is. Mario is a 2D jump and run game, which is usually very simple to program, but what Nintendo did was they added this force in Mario where he is kind of slow when turning around corners. Normally, when beginners do programming, they program a 2D game and then the player can go left and right, but there is no response time when the player changes direction. And I am unfortunately not a pro at programming, but I'm programming now for 6 months, and there's one simple way of how we can mimic this behavior of Mario, and that is by lerping between what the player wants Mario to do, or in this case our character, and what Mario does actually. So there's always gonna be a delay between when the player wants to change direction and where the character will actually change direction. What? Yes, movement done. But we also need to handle the jump. Mario has a very slow jump, and there's a specific time that he passes in the air, and he can jump higher if the player presses jump longer, and he will jump less high if the player presses jump shorter. So we also need to include that in our video game. It doesn't really look good yet, right? The graphics look a bit meh. Yeah, I decided to actually sit down and try to draw Mario myself, because I highly doubt that Nintendo is going to give me their Mario sprite sheet. Hello? Hello, this is Nintendo. We heard you would like to use our Mario game character. Yeah, I wanted to ask if I could use Mario in my YouTube video. Nope, but we're totally gonna sue you. So I took it upon me to sit down and make art like a professional artist, and I wouldn't consider myself the best artist, but I mean, I'm pretty proud of this work right here. Yeah, I know it looks a bit weird, a bit shitty, but I'm not really drawing a lot and I'm a programmer, right? So you gotta be satisfied with this result, okay? Yeah, and fun fact, I've never done like sprite animations, so like more pictures where the player then looks like he's walking. So I have really no idea how to do that properly. I just tried to flip this leg here and maybe rotate it a bit, and that looked pretty So let's try to bring this homemade, super nice asset into the game engine. And here we see the first result, Mario standing, very nice. And let's press the play button, because otherwise the graphic will not look that good. And I think he looks decent, no? Like pretty nice, no? Like, yeah. Standing is nice, but we need breathing, so we need to make some animation like breathing, going up and down. We can do simple way with like head going up and down, and maybe like body going small and bigger, and still looks a bit shit. So so I guess we have to go on to the movement, and this is gonna look even worse. So I'm just gonna put in the pictures that I have, and then we have this picture twice. So oh man, we gotta like, this is gonna look so bad. And yeah, it looks shit, but I think it's fine. Like, it's not that bad, right? Like, we have seen worse, maybe. And I just noticed right now, you might be thinking, hey, why the f is there only one arm? And that is because the shotgun we're gonna do right now. So yeah, drawing a shotgun. Alright, so this is the shotgun that I made. And then the reason why I did it separately was because I want Mario to be able to rotate his second arm with the shotgun, so that he will always point to where our mouse is pointing. So this way he will always shoot to where the player aims. And yeah, this is what the final animation looks like. So I actually already, before I drew Mario, made an effect for the shotgun. And so we can just put in right away the animation for the shotgun. And yes, so particle system. We have a shotgun, and now we need to be able to actually hit the enemies. With enemies, I mean Goombas. And Goombas are very special creatures, and they're not even creatures, they're actually vegetable. And Goombas will need to be shot very far away when they're being hit. It's maybe a bit brutal, but it's funny. So we need to calculate the point of where we shoot the shotgun and the point where our enemy is being hit, and then the enemy will shoot away from this point. And how this usually works is you take 2 points and then you subtract them from each other. The works is you take 2 points from the position, and then you have a vector that points in the right direction, and in this direction we're gonna shoot off the Goomba. Okay, so now let's draw the Goomba. I'm honestly sick of drawing all of this because I want to program and not draw, but I guess I have to draw this. So Nintendo will only sue me for $2 million instead of $3 million, and now we have a Goomba in our game and we can shoot them away. Alright, and now we're gonna make this game even more funny by adding recoil. Recoil is gonna allow us to add an extra feature to Mario, because now the player needs to take care if he's too close to an edge, and if he shoots a Goomba he will fall off. Oh no! Or the shot is gonna be used as a double jump. So instead of shooting an enemy, the player can choose to shoot below and get an extra jump. Oh yeah. I mean, we're basically having an already done game here. We only need to add one last thing. And this one last thing is gonna be the toughest yet. We need to create the levels. So all of this level thingies that Mario is gonna run through. But I cannot copy this because Nintendo is gonna sue me even more, which probably doesn't matter anymore. But I also don't wanna just copy this, it just would be inefficient. So, because I'm a very smart man and definitely not just lazy, we are gonna create presets. And we're gonna make a bunch of those. And then we're gonna spawn in the presets at random if Mario is far enough into the game. So we're gonna create an invisible spawner, set his position to always be where Mario is, and then if we move forward, he will spawn the next preset. And of course, we are gonna do this outside of the player view, so that the player doesn't notice. So let's also add a score, so that the player gets addicted and he knows how far he can get. And then of course we need a death screen when he dies, with like the high score, and a quit game button, in case the player is pissed off and doesn't want to play the game anymore. And a main menu. Look at this artistic choice of Goombas raining down, isn't that super cool? Like, damn. And I wish we would be done here already, but we're still missing a lot of things. We have the Goombas, but they need to spawn in. So I made them spawn in on top of each tile set, and then I also made a rain spawner, like in the main menu, where Goombas will rain down from the top of the world, and the further you get, the more increasingly more Goombas will rain down from the sky, to spice up the difficulty a little bit. So now you might think, oh nice, we are nearly getting towards the end. But nope, we have to do even more. See, the problem right now is that when we hit a Goomba, sometimes he can bounce off a wall and then he will kill the player for some reason, even though you already shot him. So that's a bit unfair. So we have to change a little bit in the code here to just make sure that if the Goomba is hit, he cannot trigger the death screen anymore. Yes. So now that we've finally done all of this, we can finish the game, right? Nope. Unfortunately, I am a sucker for detail, and now I really wanted to have a count above the player's head, how many bullets he has. Problem is, as of now, the player can shoot indefinitely, and he will just fly. So we're gonna give him 2 bullets, and then if he shot both, then there is gonna be a reload time, and only then can he shoot more. Makes sense, right? Alright, and now we need some music, because this game is looking pale, like music-wise. So let's just have a look at the Mario game theme. And to be honest, I want to sing the game theme on my own. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do the drums, the main melody, and kind of like a lower background bass. I'm honestly not sure if I made the game better or worse with this soundtrack, but I think we can just leave it, right? No one is probably gonna play this game anyway, so... Oh yeah, and I also created a death sound for Mario. And now this is the final result of the game. It's not the best game out there, but it really was a lot of work to put all of this together. I've only been programming for about 9 months now, I think this is a cool result, and yeah, this is just how far I could get. And if you want to try the game, it's for free on itch.io. Link is in the description, and it would really mean a lot to me if you would subscribe, because I've been just starting with YouTube, and my dream would be to make this channel grow and to make video games and make YouTube videos about that. So consider liking and subscribing if you think this content is cool, and let me know what you think about the game.